For my action research project, I will be analyzing how leadership opportunities shape student self-perception. My passion for teaching and making a difference was inspired only a few short years ago. I wasn't part of the lucky few who knew exactly what they wanted to become and who they wanted to be as early as they can remember. My passion and values were learned and developed in my later years as I became more independent from my family's core values. I come from an upbringing of success and privilege and was always expected to follow in their shoes. It wasn't until I took the initiative and got the courage to explore a new kind of future. I ensured individual sponsorship as well as raising additional funds for a small community in Nicaragua. It was there I discovered the authentic expression of my personality and where my pursuit of life should be. Not many people ever get the opportunity to experience something as I have. Not many people ever get the opportunity to live the life they truly dream about. Even when given these opportunities, some people are able to see past their being into what could be. It takes mentors, peers, and initiatives to teach people the ability to see one's true potential, create goals, and see through to those goals. I believe our school system could use an improvement on character education through leadership initiatives, goal setting, and learning about transferable skills. The majority of children will not become university professors, scientists, mathematicians, or teachers. These children become leaders of the future, entrepreneurs, and activists. These jobs require an abundance of critical thinking skills, creativity, passion, confidence, and empathy, all of which is hard to teach but easy to model. No matter what their passion is, leadership skills are what take that passion and turn it into action. That action is what changes the world. Many jobs that students of today will work for in the future are not even invented yet. By teaching skills rather than knowledge, we can better prepare our students for a future we cannot specifically prepare them for. My research question originated through the exploration of how character education is taught and harnessed. I will be researching whether students become more confident in their perception of themselves when given leadership opportunities within their classroom, around the school, and throughout the community. I will examine whether an increase of effective and positive change occurs when schools devote more time and energy into their students' character and transferable skills rather than academics and knowledge. There is not one true definition for leadership, and so I have included a variety of ways to understand what leadership means to my research. Ability to not only understand and utilize your innate talents, but to also effectively leverage the natural strengths of your team to accomplish the mission. There are no one-size-fits-all approach, answer key, or formula. Leadership is the humble, authentic expression of your unique personality in pursuit of bettering whatever environment you are in. Having a selfless heart and always being willing to reach out and lend a helping hand, having the ability to see a problem and be the solution. And it takes a leader to truly see a problem as a challenge and want to drive toward it. Self-perception is the idea that you have about the kind of person you are, one's particular nature or personality, the qualities that make one individual or unique, one's own interests or pleasure, and how attitudes and opinions are developed by observing their own behavior and drawing conclusions from it. When talking about this setting, the school being observed will be a publicly funded school within Ontario. Character education is a term loosely used to describe the teaching of children in a manner that will help them develop variously as moral, civic, good-mannered, behaved, non-bullying, healthy, critical, successful, traditional, compliant, or socially acceptable beings. Concepts that now and in the past have fallen under this term include social and emotional learning, moral reasoning, and cognitive development, life skills education, health education, violence prevention, critical thinking, ethical reasoning, and conflict resolution and meditation. Lastly, transferable skills is defined as skills developed in one situation which can be transferred to another situation. In 2015, Ryan Young, in association with Education and Urban Society, had examined the relationship between athletics, athletic leadership, and academic achievement. The article explains how leadership in athletics may add extra burden or may serve to teach students important life skills that translate to better test scores. A sport represents a leadership opportunity as it requires teamwork, good communication skills, and goal setting. The importance of his research is a direct result of recent cuts in extracurricular activities in sports. Using test scores for math, civics, science, and English, student athletes score 0.919 standard deviations better than non-athletes. Dr. Goldie Brown III examined principals and school administrative teams in 2016. The goal of the research was to analyze leadership strategies in order to help other schools. Characteristics observed included qualities of effective leadership, a principal's vision and goals, a principal's role in positively affecting school culture, and personal traits of their students. Research in 2015 implored communities, educators, and key decision makers to work together to ensure the implementation of policies that would result in successful learners who are knowledgeable, emotionally and physically healthy, civically active, artistically engaged, prepared for economic self-sufficiency, and ready for adulthood. The whole child approach and the coordinated school health approach both address the physical and emotional need of students. This research includes not only the school atmosphere to ensure students are achieving the skills required for their future, but employs the community to act as well. I believe the saying, "It takes a village to raise a child." I will continue the above research by looking at school culture, principal attitudes, and community involvement in order to promote confidence and purpose in my students. I will collect data using journals, observations during activities, and questionnaires. Students will participate in team-building exercises and complete assignments to promote character education and critical thinking skills. Participants will then be asked to complete entries in a journal on how they perceive themselves throughout the activities. Lastly, for quantitative results, each student will complete a questionnaire at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of the study. The data I will collect ensures validity and reliability by being consistent, repetitive, and both qualitative and quantitative in nature. Questionnaires are useful for a large group when you have a precise notion of what data you require. I will be asking 8 specific questions on student attitude and perception and 4 open-ended questions to allow for further discussion and depth. Students will use journal entries reflecting on activity and ideas. They are self-reports, reflections of experiences or observations. Lastly, observations offer a snapshot of what is happening in the classroom, on the schoolyard, with an individual or with a group of people in a specific time frame. Observations can capture behaviors, attitudes, performance, interactions, understanding, and application of knowledge. Students will participate in leadership initiatives 1 to 2 times a week, which will be observed by the teacher. Activities will take place inside the classroom, focusing on character education, communication exercises, empathy, social justice, career pathways, and ways to improve the local community. They will also take place around the school through mentoring and throughout the community during field trips. The teacher will observe the natural behavior of students during leadership initiatives 1 to 2 times a week. They are responsible to plan and implement activities focusing on character education, communication, social justice, career pathways, and by improving the local community. Members around the local community will be involved during field trips and fundraising initiatives. The school principal and associate teachers will be involved when permission for field trips and participation in younger classes are required. Students will begin by completing a questionnaire in September based on their perception of self, goals, motivations, and interests. Throughout the study, students will take part in leadership initiatives 1 to 2 times a week, where the teacher will be required to observe and take notes. The teacher will then collect student journals once every 2 weeks, making notes on self-perception, attitudes, and confidence of their students. Students will also be required to complete a similar questionnaire in February and in June to show growth in learning throughout the year. There are many considerations when conducting research in the classroom. Before the study is approved, parents will need to give permission for their child to be videotaped during certain activities. Permission forms will be utilized throughout the year for excursions off the school grounds. Students will also have to be aware that everything in the research journals is open for analysis. As long as communication with students, parents, and administration is ongoing, there should be no ethical violations during the action research. It takes the effort of mentors, peers, and initiatives to teach people the ability to see one's true potential, create goals, and see through to those goals. I want to help my students discover their potential and aspirations by giving them opportunities to discover their own path in life. I believe our school system could use an improvement on character education through leadership initiatives, goal setting, and transferable skills education. If my students show an improvement in their perception of self, I will feel empowered to lead future students in these activities in order to discover their true potential, become well-rounded people, and discover their purpose in life.